All right, let's talk about something huge. We're living in this age of artificial intelligence, a time when our world is just being completely reshaped. And that brings up a really big question. How do we not just find happiness, but actually build it for ourselves? Let's dive in. You know, we always talk about the pursuit of happiness, right? Like it's some treasure chest we're all hunting for. But what if that's the wrong way to think about it? What if happiness isn't a place you arrive at? Because what if it's something you build? I mean, just that one little shift in thinking changes everything. Suddenly, you're not a passenger just waiting for life to make you happy. Nope, you're the architect. You're in charge. And that active, powerful role, that's what we're going to explore. Okay, so if we're going to be architects, the first thing we have to do is check out the building site. We need to understand what we're working with. And honestly, the reason this is so important right now, well, the numbers tell a pretty clear story.
This isn't just a hunch. Social scientist Arthur C. Brooks calls it the happiness slump, and it was happening long before the pandemic. Just look at this data. The number of people who say they're very happy has basically been cut in half, dropping from 36% down to 19%. At the same time, the number of people who are not too happy has more than doubled. So this is a real collective challenge we're facing.
And for a lot of us, this slump feels like being stuck. You know the feeling, right? We tell ourselves these stories. I'll be happy when I get that new job, or when I finally fix my relationship, or when I move. We're basically putting our happiness on hold, just waiting for the world around us to get perfect first.
And right into the middle of all this comes this incredibly powerful new force, artificial intelligence. It's already changing everything. So the big question for us is AI going to be an ally that helps us build a happier life? Or is it going to be an adversary, making everything that much harder? On the one hand, the potential for AI to be this incredible ally, it's just huge. It's already helping us connect with each other in amazing ways. For someone who has trouble speaking, AI can give them a voice. For someone who's hard of hearing, it can create subtitles in real time. And this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, making it easier for people to participate in the world.
And this really gets to the heart of it. For some people with disabilities, these new intelligent prosthetics have given them what they describe as a nouveau départ, a totally new beginning. That's not just a tool, you know? That's a technology that's literally giving people their freedom back, completely transforming their lives.
But, of course, there's another side to the coin, especially when we talk about work. AI can go one of two ways. It can be a force for good, taking over the boring, repetitive tasks and lowering our stress, or it can be used for control, to increase surveillance and pile on new kinds of pressure. Look, the tech itself isn't good or bad. It all comes down to how we decide to use it. So if we're going to use this powerful new tool the right way, we need a plan. We need a blueprint. We have to get really clear on what we're trying to build. We have to define happiness not as some vague feeling, but as a set of actual ingredients we can work with. And the master skill for becoming your own architect has this fancy name, metacognition. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. It's the ability to notice your own feelings without letting them take over. You can feel angry, but not act angry. You can feel sad without letting it turn into bitterness. It's what puts you back in the driver's seat.
So if we're building, what are our materials? Well, Arthur Brooks calls them the 3 macronutrients of happiness. First, there's enjoyment. And that's not just cheap thrills. It's about sharing experiences with other people. Then, that builds into satisfaction, that amazing feeling you get when you've worked hard and sacrificed for something that really matters. And holding it all together is purpose. That's your why. It's what gives your life meaning and helps you make sense of the hard times.
All right, so let's get practical. We've got the blueprint. Now we need the actual structure, the load-bearing walls. Where do we need to invest our time and energy to actually grow that enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose? And the research keeps coming back to the same 4 big areas of life. These are the pillars of a well-built life. First, there's family, the people we're born to. Then friendship, the family we choose. Third is work, where we serve others and earn our success. And finally, faith, which can be anything from a spiritual practice to a life philosophy that gives you a bigger perspective. Let's just zoom in on one of those for a second, work. I mean, for so many of us, work is a huge source of stress and unhappiness.
but it's also one of our biggest opportunities to build a genuinely happier life. I love this quote. It's such a powerful way to rethink things. What if work wasn't just about the paycheck? What if we saw our job as a way to serve other people, to earn our success? What if we tried to make our work what the poet Khalil Gibran called love made visible? That completely changes the game from what you get from work to what you give.
And this is where AI comes back in. We can intentionally use it as a tool to strengthen this pillar. We can let it automate all the boring stuff, which frees us up to focus on the parts of our job that give us real satisfaction. It can give us new tools to be more creative, to serve people in new ways, and like we saw, it can make work more accessible and less draining for everyone. It's all about using the tool to build according to our blueprint.
So this all brings us to the final point, which is really the most important one of all. We've looked at the problem, we've looked at the tools, and we've looked at the blueprint. And now, the power is completely in your hands.
You have the blueprint now. You know the ingredients: enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose, built on those pillars of family, friends, work, and faith. And you have the tools. You understand what AI is, you see its incredible promise, but you also see the risks. You are equipped. And so, this is the question that's left for all of us. Technology is not your destiny. AI is here, and it's only going to get more powerful. The question is, are you going to passively let it design your life for you, or are you going to pick up this tool with your blueprint in hand and be the architect of your own happiness? The choice is yours.